know everybody was so excited about. That was like one of the viral videos, right?
Yeah. Last time I was responding to people, it was at like 106,000 views.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, Reddit. Well, you break the news to them. You break the news to them.
We have gone viral.
No.
Oh,
That news, the other news, the other news. The reason we're recording this one.
so we have an update to the I broke my wife and I don't think it's fixable story from our WTF Reddit post or episode. So this is hot off the press as of 9 hours ago. So how fortuitous that we're filming today. But update. We have been going to counseling and my wife at first has been very reluctant to open up and wanted to pretend that everything was fine. One session, she just asked me, I want the truth, here and now. No sugarcoating and do not try to spare my feelings. Did you find me attractive when we met? I really didn't know what to say to this. I love her more than anything, even more than my children and myself. Damn. Tough break, kids. I think that she's the most beautiful woman I know, but did I immediately think that when I met her? No, I didn't really find her attractive. We all grow up having a type. I remember thinking that she wasn't exactly my type, but she was so lovable and sweet. It didn't take me long to fall for her, and now I find women who look like her attractive. So I guess my type is something very superficial and fleeting. I told her the truth. She cried and said that she herself didn't know why she was so hurt and crying. She knew that there were more beautiful women. She never wanted to be the most beautiful woman either, but that she'd always been considered beautiful by other people, which is true, and always got attention. But the fact that the one person she wanted to be found the most beautiful girl in the world by didn't think that. And that's what made her sad. The man she loved way before we even started dating. This was on our latest session, and it was the most draining experience. Later, when we got home, she apologized for making a big deal out of something this trivial, but that she just couldn't help it, and she was as confused to why it affected her so badly. On Saturday, she told me that she did not want to stay in our marriage, that something broke inside of her. She asked me if I would try to hurt her and the children if we did separate, if I would use them to get back at her, alienate her because she chose to leave. I promised her that none of this would happen and that I loved her and wanted her to be happy even if it wasn't with me. Our families are in uproar over this. Mostly they're angry with her
What?
that she let her insecurities get the best and worst of her. But I don't think it's insecurity, to be honest. She has never cared about people's attention. She just realized that the only person whose approval she cared about didn't give it to her. At least that he had to learn it. What? At least that he had to learn it, and that wasn't enough. I don't know what that last sentence means, but
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Donezo. So that's the update. Done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Woo.
This dude will just not throw her a bone, bro. He's just like, no, to be honest, I didn't find you attractive.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
That's tough. That one, because it's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that like it's tough because
tough.
on one hand I'm like, don't lie, but
Right.
on the other hand, he'd already screwed the pooch at this point.
Right.
Like, but like at the same time, he could have not lost his marriage and just tried to. I don't know. It's tough because it's like he'd already fucked up so badly that he could have lied
Yeah.
and tried to smooth it over. Maybe the marriage would have worked out, maybe not. But on the other hand, like, I would want to know the truth.
Same seas. Same seas.
Yeah. And since I was just making reels for our life update episode, and one of them has it where we were talking about asking questions and then getting mad at the answer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to have it both ways here, but like, that sucks.
That sucks. I mean, I think that when it comes to a marriage, it has to be more than just attraction for
Mm-hmm.
it to work long term.
Oh, for sure.
So I kind of do feel like her insecurity is eating her alive right now, just eating her alive.
Yeah.
But also, we don't know what he's doing to even try to affirm in her that he
Mm-hmm.
does find her attractive now. That, he's writing on Reddit, like, oh, now I think she's just the most beautiful woman. I'm attracted to women that look like her. Like, how are you affirming that in real life to her? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where it's like, now she's just sitting there thinking, wow, he wasn't attracted to me when we got married. He
Mm-hmm.
still doesn't think I'm the most attractive person because of what was said in the first story. Like,
Yeah.
she's just sitting over here, sitting in this. You know what I mean? So, like, what are you saying what actions are you taking in real life for your wife
Right.
right
Yeah. I mean, did he say that whole thing about how his type evolved?
now? Mm-hmm.
Like, was that verbatim, or is he just explaining it on Reddit? Like, it's hard to tell. But that, I think that's what gets me about it, and why I'm kind of like torn about whether he should have told the truth or not, because it's like my type whenever, you know, I would say that physically I don't necessarily have a type. I've
Mm-hmm.
always been attracted to all different people, but like my like the idea of my most attractive person has changed over, especially over the last several years, but like from 18 to now, 15 years, it's changed immensely. So
Absolutely.
like the
Yeah.
person when you were really young, like the person you would imagine yourself marrying and the person you actually married, like they're probably not the same person.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, I don't know. I think him calling her a 6 out of 10, which
Oh,
is, we heard a lot of the commenters on TikTok said that he had said that basically he stopped chasing 10s and settled for a 6 or something along those lines,
right.
which, like, that's horrible.
Right.
That is the meanest way to say it.
That's the meanest way to say it, but what if
Mm-hmm.
that's like the truth? What if that's really,
Yeah.
and I think it's just being realistic about honestly what he's bringing to the table. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you're rating people, I feel like a lot of videos that you see on TikTok of like when people say, "Hey, rate me," or "What rate this person?" The
Yeah.
person rating them is like a lower number. They're like, "Oh, I rate myself a 5, but I'm going to sit here and rate this random person as a 4 or as a 2." And it's like,
Yeah.
why? Why do you feel like you're a 5 but you're going to try to chase a 10 and be like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why no one finds, why no one's like wanting to be with me. And it's like, one, the number scale is stupid.
It
And we all
is.
know this. That's the most immature way, but whatever. The
Yeah. It's
kids,
so subjective too.
Oh, it's so subjective. Because even like with my physical appearance,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like people would rate me a very low number. And my husband like actively was attracted to me at
Mm-hmm.
like as a bigger bodied person. Like I am his standard of beauty and what he finds attractive,
Yeah.
you know? So it's just weird. And even like a TikToker, I saw a TikTok video of she was on one of those like when they do I don't know if it's for YouTube or whatever where they like line people up and they say like who do you think is the richest, like put them in order or like rate the body. Have you seen those videos? I don't
No.
know what, I'm on the weirdest side of TikTok, I guess. Anyways, like basically she went on one of those where
Mm-hmm.
people rated her body, like rated her appearance against other people and like did the like 1 to 10, like 10's the most attractive, 1's the least attractive. And she was saying how like she was prepared for it not to like for her not to rank high,
Mm-hmm.
but to be present in the experience, how she wasn't prepared for that, how she wasn't prepared to face it so bluntly, I think.
Yeah.
And I can only relate that to what this wife is going through. It's like logically the concept I don't think is a big deal,
Yeah.
but it's when you're with someone that you've been your most vulnerable with, your most disgusting with, right? Like, I'm a disgusting wife, like, disgusting with my husband.
Yeah.
And to hear him be like, oh, yeah, the six, devastating.
Right.
Devastating.
Maybe it is because his ex is an example of what a 10 is, because I feel like that would hurt worse than someone being like, oh yeah, Megan Fox is a 10 out of 10, because it's like, duh. But
right.
I just still feel like that whole ranking system, it's so subjective, because some people would think like Megan Fox isn't that attractive, or they're like, she's just like, okay, you know, like everybody likes different stuff. And it's like, my husband thinks that I'm a 10 out of 10. I know that I'm not, but it's like, if he said that a celebrity was also a 10 out of 10, I don't know if I'd be upset about it. But if he was like, yeah, my ex was hot too, my ass would be like, how dare you?
Right. Oh, well, Brian and I had this last year, like him like finally being able to voice people that he finds attractive.
Oh, okay.
And that was like really hard for me to like, and they weren't celebrities, they were regular people. And so I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, you know what I mean? And at first, like, it was very difficult to handle because a celebrity gives you like a level of like unobtainability. Does that make, yeah. And
Oh,
so like,
yeah.
but it's like when it's people that you may know or someone that they may come in contact with, like maybe you're
Right.
just like, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like they find them attractive. Like this is a threat. Like I feel like your body's like, this is a threat. And it's like, it's not a threat. Like people are allowed to find people attractive. It's okay. Like they are subjectively beautiful. Like you make jokes. And so now it's like not a big deal. But I had to work through it and he had to work through it. I had to make sure that I allowed him to feel comfortable voicing those opinions without letting my internal wounds kind of spill into the conversation and be like, you know, just because he finds someone attractive doesn't mean he's gonna fuck them. And if he does fuck them, that's out of my control anyways. I have zero control over what that man does with his body. He has zero control over what I do with my body. So it's about making sure that we have a solid foundation and that we make sure each other feels attracted to one another. That way he doesn't go seeking that validation somewhere else, if that makes sense. And like I don't either, you know.
Yeah.
Having that solid partnership, I think. And clearly these two don't have it, and that's so hard. That's so hard.
It is. I applaud you guys, honestly, for getting to that point, because we're still not really at that level of comfortability. Like it honestly, it comes and goes. Like some days, if he was like, whew, you know, like someone on like a show that we watch, like not a celebrity, but like someone on a reality show, if he was like, wow, like she's really pretty, sometimes I'm fine with that. But then other times I'm just like, like, what the fuck did you say? Even though it's like, whoops, I know better.
Right.
And I trust in that. It's just, it's like a mental thing. It's all me. It's not anything that he's doing. But
yeah,
you're absolutely right. Like we have no control over this. And clearly you can see on Reddit that no matter how long you've been together,
right,
or how attractive or unattractive you think your spouse is, some shit can always go awry.
Yeah, and he's very, and I think it's about having a partner that recognizes your triggers and like your anxiety and is willing to work with those, because like even though we're actively working on our wounds and we're actively trying to be the healthiest individuals we can be and the healthiest couple we can be. What?
This bitch upstairs is vacuuming.
Oh my God, stop.
I'm so mad. She never vacuums.
Anyways, like we were at like dinner the other day.
Yeah.
And like he had his Facebook Messenger, you know that sound, went off. And like I didn't say anything. But he could see on my face that I like like did like the Britney, I don't know, what's her last name, Broski, or I don't know how to say her,
Mm-hmm.
like I went, and like but like kept it, like didn't say, and he like immediately like flipped his phone, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's the lawn person, like don't worry, and I was like, I'm fine, like I am so fine, I'm not even anxious or worried at all. And he was like, okay.
Like
Like
we're just lying to ourselves right now. It's
I,
fine.
I don't have trust issues. I'm fine. It's fine. And like,
Right.
and then it opened up that conversation of me being like, I don't want my insecurities to like bleed into this. Like, I don't want to cause problems because I know I have things that I have to work on, and I don't want you to have to worry about my anxieties and stuff. And he was like, I don't mind turning my phone over. Like, it's not a big deal. And I'm
Right.
like, that's nice. Like,
I think that's I love that reaction from him though, because I feel like I don't know, I feel like there have been so many times in my life where like I've tried to be the cool girl that is like, "Oh yeah, like we both think that people are attractive and like look at that gigantic ass over there." And, I don't want to go through someone's phone like even though I absolutely did,
right.
but I was lying to myself.
Right.
And I just feel like we've made a lot more progress, like me and Jax have, when I stopped trying to be the cool girl and I was like, hey, like I
Yeah.
just said it how I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, why? Like I saw a notification and I don't know if I saw what I thought I saw. And like every time I haven't, but it's
Right.
like, you got a Facebook Messenger notification and I'm insecure about it for no reason because you don't really talk to anyone
Right.
on Messenger at all because you're a
Right.
dude.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
like I think that's the healthiest way to approach it. And I feel like with this Reddit story, I just feel like this husband isn't like, he's just not being a good partner to
Mm-hmm.
someone that's married to another person that clearly has this insecurity. Like I
Yeah.
feel like each person comes into the relationship with their own damage, and like it's not the partner's responsibility to fix that damage, to like heal it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a little bit of accommodation like can go a
Yeah.
long way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I can't resolve your anxiety, but I can definitely not add to it. I can, you know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
damn, like you're just killing this girl. Like, no wonder
Exactly.
she's out, bro. No wonder.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's I know we talked about it whenever we recorded that episode too, like what has he tried to actually fix this? Because like standing around and saying like, oopsie, I made a
Hmm.
boo-boo, like that doesn't actually change anything.
No, nothing.
Poor poor gal.
Yeah, I'm glad she's outie though. Hopefully she, I feel like it's like the Trish Cyrus. Is that Miley Cyrus's mom's name? It's kind of like that
Tish.
situation.
Yeah.
Tish. And I know another podcast that talks about this too, about how like she was so scared to leave Billy Ray because they like
Mm-hmm.
that's all they knew. They were,
Yeah.
even though it was bad, it was like their own bad, and she was so anxious to be on her own. And it's like when she finally did, she met someone that like actually made her feel beautiful. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, is it always going to be greener on the other side? Like, no, I'm not going to promise that. But like, hopefully she'll meet someone that makes her feel beautiful, that immediately sees her and is like, yeah, girl,
Yeah.
I'm feeling what you're putting down, you know?
Yeah.
She deserves that. Instead of someone that's like, well, I mean, my ex was hotter, but I married you.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Double homicide. Double homicide. Okay. So speaking of Reddit stories, this is another Reddit themed episode, and this one is the lucky one where we went through Reddit to find stories that had the word lucky in them because today is the day after St. Patty's Day, and we just thought it'd be cute and fun, even though I didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, did you?
No.
No. No,
Definitely
same.
not. I'm too old.
Yeah. I mean, like, samesies, but also, like, I don't, like, in the, like, pagan community, they have this thing of, like, that St. Patrick, him, like, getting rid of all the snakes in Ireland was really, like, him getting rid of all the pagans, but then, like, another person that's a historian was like, no, that's not true, and so it's like, I don't really know what the story is, so I just don't feel like getting drunk on a random Sunday.
Right.
I,
I don't blame you. I mean,
like,
even from a non-pagan perspective, like I am technically a little Irish, like Scots Irish,
mm-hmm.
and that's cool, but like I just don't I'm not into like the oh, everyone's Irish today, like an excuse to get hammered thing. Like I'm just not a big drinker. So
Yeah,
I can wear green, keep it moving. Like
right.
that's plenty for me.
Is that plenty? Yeah, instead of drinking during the filming of these episodes, I have now okay. I'm a kombucha girl.
Oh,
And
got the booch.
I got the booch, so I'm drinking the booch. It's actually I think I found this is my first one I've ever had. I think
Oh,
I nailed it with my selection
nice.
because it doesn't taste like apple cider vinegar. It tastes like ginger,
Ooh.
raspberry, and lemon.
Ooh,
So it's really good actually.
crisp.
It's
Nice.
very refreshing. Hopefully my biome will appreciate it. Who
Mhm.
knows? Okay. So the stories I have are on my phone because I'm on my laptop today. I'm gonna let you go first because I gotta pull them up.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just doing back-to-back Hayley.
Yeah, I mean, how great of us. I love
I
it.
know. Aren't
Ooh,
we all blessed?
we really are.
All right. This first one is coming from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for saying my sister-in-law is lucky to not own a house?
I saw this one. I didn't pull it, but I saw it.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
I definitely went through all of your links to make sure I didn't pull the same one.
Oh,
So,
okay. That's smart.
so my husband 26M and I 22F own a house that we purchased in early 2020. My husband's sister Sam, 24, came over because we had just got back from our trip to Chicago where I was visiting some of my family. Sam was asking about our trip, and I was lamenting the fact that I missed my cousins and that I wish we could move there. She said that it might be a possibility in the future, and that's when I said it's not likely because we already bought a house in the state that we live in. That's when I told her that she is lucky that she only rents her apartment and doesn't own a house because she could just move whenever she wants. But it's really hard for us because we're tied down here because of the house. She seemed fine, and the night went on like usual. Last week, there was a family gathering, and Sam was complaining that she wished that my father in law gave her the same help he gave my husband so that she could be more financially secure. I told her that it was my husband's hard work that got him to where he is. That's when Sam got snippy and said that I had no right to talk because the 40,000 for the house and an entire business wasn't hard work, it was a handout. I told her that yes, father-in-law did give us 40 grand for a down payment and gave us money that helped us start a business, but all he did was supply the money. My husband is the one that runs our business, and that is what made us so successful. She then called me an a-hole because I was condescending and reminded me of how I told her she was lucky to be able to move whenever she wanted to and that I would be nothing without her father's money. My husband and I thought she was incredibly rude, but she is refusing to apologize. So am I the a-hole?
Yes, you're the a-hole. No, she should not apologize. See,
No.
it's giving. It was only $1 million
I
loan.
was just thinking that. A small loan of $1 million.
A small loan. A small loan of $1 million. Like,
You fired.
you fired.
But also, like, spoken like a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
your brain is not done cooking, and it's really showing.
Yeah, and also like, oh, you're lucky you're in an apartment because we're tied down with the house. No, you're not. What?
Right.
Sell the house. What?
Right. Yeah, that's. I mean, granted, I don't own a house, so I guess I'm luckier than you are.
Like, I guess, but we've moved twice. We've
Yeah,
sold, and like, I mean, if you have a realtor, you got to pay fees that come out of your equity, but
sure.
I mean, we got
Whatever.
money when we moved our house.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
we
what I
sold our
was.
house.
Yeah, like if you sell and move, you get more money to like buy another place. Whereas if you're renting, you don't get like, I know you're supposed to get your security deposit back, but I don't know if it's just a college town thing, but they don't give those back here.
No.
So then you have to shell out more money
Right.
to rent a place. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's easier, but lucky? No.
Lucky. And it like the 40 that I like that the sister was like, actually, and it's like the OP being like, it was only $40,000 and it was just the down payment. Like, Miss
That's,
Ma'am, that you wouldn't have gotten the house without it. You have to
yeah,
have the down payment. You
yeah.
have to have it.
I'm taking your word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not for some loans. There is a loan that they put the down payment into your mortgage.
Yeah.
That's a government loan, though, and it only works if you live in a rural area. So
That makes
that's
sense.
yeah. So Brian, I used when we bought our first house. I found it.
Nice.
Um,
Plus, they bought the house in early 2020.
yeah.
So, like, the interest rates and prices and stuff weren't crazy yet at that point.
No, during COVID, the rates were historically low. We'll never get rates like that again.
Love that for me.
Yeah, I love that for you. I mean, we bought this house in 2020 during COVID, and we thought it was just going to be a cute, like, transition house, and it's turning into a forever house.
Yeah.
Because of the rates. Like,
Right.
oh, we're just like, absolutely not. 7? Like, somebody got 7 in our life, and we were like, hate that for you. Hate that for you.
Yeah.
No, that's terrible. Yeah, my God.
Like,
No.
what a douche for saying all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of sucks, but like the OP sucks worse, I feel like, because the sister-in-law should have just been like, that was
I don't think
fucking
she
rude.
sucks.
I mean,
I don't think she sucks. Like, whenever you're that privileged and you're that out of pocket,
yeah,
sometimes you need like the bonk on the head for a little perspective.
It's just the passive aggressiveness, I feel like. Like, I'm trying to be more direct in my own life, so I think I'm trying to, like, I like to see it in other people too. You know what I mean? Like, I like it when, if somebody was like, hey, that hurt my feelings. That was really rude of you to say. Let's keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I guess I just read this as straight aggressive.
The
what how she responded. Yeah. I mean, she did wait to respond, but it sounds like it came up again, or she was complaining about it, and then OP piped in again. And that's when she popped off and said she had no right to talk.
All right.
So that part, I think, is direct, but she could have been direct at the time.
Yeah. Which it's hard to be. Like, as a people pleaser, it's so hard for me to really tell people directly when I'm like, when they've upset me, or when I don't like something, or you know what I mean? And that's just fear. Like, that's just fear. It's a coping mechanism, and I'm trying really hard to be like, hey, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I'm trying. It's so hard. So hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
I feel like it's even hard to like gauge how hard you go when you're direct about something.
Right.
Because sometimes I've definitely popped off over something and been direct, and it was, in hindsight, it was not as serious as I made it.
Samesies. I feel like, we all have that one moment where it's like, okay, this is it. And then you're like, a little too much gas. A little too much gas. Should have braked a little bit. All right. So this one enraged me, and I thought it was a good one to read.
All right.
Am I the a-hole for telling my stepdaughter she's lucky I treat her as my own? I know.
Oh no.
44 female, have 2 children with my husband, 2 boy, 3 girl, and a bonus daughter, 18 female, Emily. I already hate. My stepdaughter has been living with us for 6 months. My stepdaughter has been living with us for 6 months this past year. She moved in because she told us her mother kicked her out since they didn't have a good relationship, and her mother said she was too problematic. Since her moving in, I've been very welcoming and I've spent more than enough money to help Emily get on her feet. This includes work shoes, comforter sets for her bed, hair products, clothing, and underwear. We told her that she could live here as long as she needed, but since her moving here, she's become a burden to both my children and I. My children and I are used to a regimen of waking up, spending time with my husband, dropping them off to daycare as he goes off to work, and when he gets home, I cook, clean, and we spend the rest of our night with the kids. My stepdaughter has become a burden. She has become entitled and whenever she needs anything financially, she will ask either myself or my husband. When I bought her work uniform, she kept the job for 3 weeks and then quit because she didn't like her coworkers. She has taken most of my savings, taken the time from my children to my husband, and used that time for herself and has been extremely unappreciative for what I've done for her. I told her she needed to figure out a living plan because she is 18 and a legal adult, and that she needs to start adulting. She mentioned how she was in school, online, and I told her that wasn't enough since there are more hours in a day and she can do more than just be lazy all day and use her computer as an excuse. She told me that I am jealous of her relationship with my husband, and I reminded her that she's living in our home rent free. I told her that she should be lucky that I treat her as my own because not everyone would do such with their stepchild. Editing for info. My husband thinks I'm wrong for saying this to her and what I did was harsh, but I don't see when she's 18 years old and she is grown.
Parenting does not stop at 18 years of age.
Facts.
What is wrong with this is
Lay it down.
I was just talking to my sister-in-law about this actually, and this is always even as a wee lass, this pissed me off. Because I just think, yes, 18 is an adult. Whether it should be or not is a different discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember how dumb you were at 18?
Yes.
Like, you cannot run your own life without guidance at 18. Like this, she had to buy this girl underpants and work shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the daughter was being kind of a turd, but she's 18.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to marry someone that has children, you need to be damn sure that you're going to treat the child like it's your own. Because if not, it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of everyone's time to get into this big mess and make your stepchild feel like shit. For what?
For what?
How is an 18-year-old a burden to a 3-year-old?
Thank you.
How?
Thank you.
Like,
how?
I'm 32 and my parents still help me financially sometimes because we're broke. Like, and I know that that's a privilege to have that. But I also still ask them like adult questions if I don't know.
Right.
Because how else are you going to learn? Yeah, Google's free and all of that. But if you don't know anything about it, like, where do you even start Googling?
Right.
Parents are supposed to instill that knowledge in their kids. And it really pisses me off when they don't. And then they're just like, I don't know. It could be a whole episode.
Yeah, the top comment is just goes ham because it was like, so you providing her with basic necessities and she isn't bowing down to you.
Yep.
She's spending time with her father and she goes to school and all of these things, she is a burden. She's a teenager being thrown around because no one wants her, and instead of trying to help, you're adding to her burden. You're the asshole.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah, how is her spending time with her father and her brother and sister a burden?
Right.
I'm not understanding.
I don't understand it either because like the other kids are toddlers.
Yeah.
They're already a burden. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're the ones that you have to wipe their ass and make sure that they don't like accidentally hurt themselves or worse all the time.
Right.
And you're jealous? on one hand, the 18-year-old being like, you're jealous of my relationship, like, that's shitty. But it's like, of course she said that.
Right,
Because
she's
OP
a
does
child.
kind of come off that way.
Yeah. And this is a teenager. Teenagers are ridiculous and dramatic and gross and angry
And mean. Yeah.
they're so emotional. Their brain is literally developing at like rapid speed. Everything is triggering to them. No one understands them or loves them. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
And in this instance, she actually does feel like people don't love her because she got kicked out. Like,
right.
that's on top of like regular teenage issues.
Right. Yeah, probably she's 18, probably just graduated high school. And this stepmom is like, get a job, pay for all your stuff. Where are you gonna live? Like,
parent this girl.
Yeah, teach her.
Teach her that you don't quit a job before you have another one lined up.
Right.
Guide her through that shit.
Yes.
Like,
I know. I had to do it because it was the lucky part. She's lucky I treat her like my other kids. Or she's lucky I treat her as one of my own. If this is how you're gonna treat your other children, no one is lucky in this situation that you're their parent.
No.
Doing
all of this shit for somebody and then holding it over their head when they don't act the way you want is financial abuse.
Oh, absolutely.
And that shit follows you for your entire life when you get treated like that repeatedly.
Oh, absolutely. We're doing in therapy, my therapist and I are working through a book and workbook called Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Hayley.
Oh, it's 2 for 2 right here.
2 for 2, dude. I recommend getting this book. It is insane. The workbook is so good. Yeah. And you're just going to be like, oh. I joked with my therapist. I was like, how do I leave this on my parents' nightstand accidentally? Like, how do I just like, oh no, I left my book. You should open it.
Oh, God. It's like, I would love that, but then they'd read the title.
That's it. All right. Next story. Next story.
The story. All right. That one's kind of longish. Okay.
The booch has turned. It's a little bit more apple cider vinegar, you know. All right, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Oh, don't shake kombucha.
She's squirting.
Oh God. Okay. Oh,
not you shaking a fermented drink.
I'm like, oh, don't shake kombucha, and everyone's like, duh. And I'm like, okay, first time booch user. Okay.
Am I the a-hole for telling my friend's girlfriend that she didn't get hot guys after she bragged about the hot guys she dated in LA and told my friend that he is lucky she is with him? She's fucking burp.
Yeah. I don't understand the title. I'm sorry. Read the title again.
Am I the a-hole for telling my friend's girlfriend that she didn't get hot guys after she bragged about the hot guys she dated in LA and told my friend that he is lucky she is with him?
Okay. All right.
Let's just get into it.
Let's get into it.
It was a couple of us together. My friend started dating this chick. We live in Colorado, but before his girlfriend lived in LA. She was telling us about how she used to live in LA and that she knew a lot of stars. I'm not going to name who. But talked about how she hooked up with certain producers and then said that her boyfriend is lucky that she is with him. This really irked me because my friend is a nice guy and often keeps quiet even when he is uncomfortable. So I just went in and said, oh, did you actually date these guys or did they just hook up with you once or twice? She started to get defensive about this and she was like, it's more complicated than that. I started pressing more into it as well. And then I said that from my understanding, you didn't get those guys, those guys slept with you and ghosted you and then only invited you to parties because you would bring your other female friends. That's not ghosting, but okay. She got really flustered and angry. My friend didn't say anything. I just said, hey, I gotta go. My friend's girlfriend definitely sees me as an asshole and said what I said was misogynist. I don't see it that way at all. I didn't like her thinking that she was above my friend or whatever weird power dynamic she was trying to do.
Yeah, she feels icky. Icky. I'm getting ick. Okay, so I don't think the part that I don't think is misogynistic is repeating the events as they happened. Like, just repeating what happened is not misogynistic. Like saying, like, oh, you just hooked up with these guys, you didn't actually date them, and she's like, well, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, it's complicated. Like, no, dating means a certain thing, hooking up means another, right? I don't think that was misogynistic. I think that saying, like, they just used you to get your, like, girlfriends for you to bring, like, girls, I feel like that's a little icky to say when you weren't there and you don't know, you know?
Right.
Unless she's told stories about that happening or whatever. But I'm getting the ick from, like, everybody, I think. Like, her, like, putting her man in his place, like, for what? Like, you're the one dating him. Like, you don't think he's attractive? That's weird.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like she might have stayed in LA a little too long when she said some shit like that. But for me, it's like, I think everyone except for the boyfriend sucks. Because,
for sure.
Like, fucking a celebrity does not, even dating a celebrity, like, it puts you on the radar, but it does not, like, you're not better than somebody because of it. It's like, okay, so you had sex with a celebrity and, like, your personality is still trash, clearly.
Oh, jinx, clearly. Yeah, clearly.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like what?
I'm, like, just laughing because it's like, could you imagine her fucking that celebrity and be like, this dick leveled me up. I'm now better than all other. So my brain turned it into, like, a video game. Her just level up.
Like a she ate a mushroom and got bigger.
Yeah. That's what happened.
I feel like the friend could have even, like, left if she was used or not out of it, because I feel like that's a huge assumption. Like, sure, there's plenty of the celebrities that would do that, but it's also, like, provided nothing nefarious happened, it was her choice too.
Right.
She wanted to fuck this person, and that's fine. Like, do what you got to do. But, like, the friend could have just been like, that was really rude.
Right. Yeah.
You shouldn't say that to my friend.
Right.
Instead of turning it into, like, they just used you, like, blah, blah, blah type thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody sucks here. Gross. Okay. Yeah. Level up. Okay. I'm trying to see. I want to read one more too.
You better.
I'm trying. I'm looking at them now. Okay, so this one's short because of time, but I thought we could both relate to it. I don't know, actually. I know I can relate to it, but I want to see if you can relate to it. All right. Am I the a-hole for not being happy-go-lucky at work? Okay. I work at a small outdoor diner in my hometown. Everyone from my town and surrounding areas knows it. I don't know why they added that. We close at 8 and stop serving hot food at 7:50. I had a lady come by today at around 8:05 with her son. He was not a small child, he was at least 12. My manager made me serve them and they only ordered ice cream. But I was tired and ready to go home, so I wasn't being extra friendly to them. I threw together the ice cream after having to turn all the machines back on and went to hand it out. When I gave the ice cream to the woman, she told me how rude I was being for acting hard done by. This might be in the UK, I don't know. Hard done by in quotation marks. I apologized and explained that we were actually closed when she arrived and she left in a huff. She thought that I was being dramatic about serving her ice cream. I know I wasn't being as friendly as I should have. Nobody is upset with me other than this woman. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
And you're right, it is British.
Is it British? Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Harshly or unfairly treated.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
felt
British.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do relate to that for sure. I hate when people, like, even if I do it, even if I, unbeknownst to me, walk into a place right when they're supposed to close, I feel so bad.
Yeah. Same.
Like, yes, there are certain things you have to do in the service industry. Like, you can't be like, what's up, fuckers? You want some ice cream?
Right.
But, like, at the end of a shift, cool professionalism and just being civil is fine.
I agree.
I feel like it's weird. I feel like expecting people to just be happy-go-lucky all the time is just weird.
Yeah. Like, you were closed. They
Mhm.
came in, which is already super rude. I feel like every generation below Gen X knows this. Like,
Yeah.
if they close at 8 and you walk in at 7:50, you're the asshole immediately.
Yeah.
Like, you
I can't.
go in there knowing you're the asshole.
Right.
Like, so it's weird to have like that expectation of someone that's, has been on their feet,
Mhm.
is doing a very difficult job already, stressful job, mentally, physically, emotionally. And you're like, why aren't you being happy and smiling at me that I'm coming in when you're closed and ordering ice cream?
Right.
Like,
I can't believe that the manager gave the go-ahead to, like, if the machines were already off.
same.
Because, like, they have to like be a certain temperature and like boot back up. Like, it's not like flipping a light switch.
Great.
Weirdos.
Weird. And now they have to clean them. Like, that's a whole thing.
Mhm.
Like, they just started a whole thing. We had someone, it was on Thursday, they tried to come in with dogs. And I was like, hey, sorry, we're a tattoo
Mhm.
shop and retail. We can't have dogs in here. And I was
Oh
nice. I
boy.
was like, hey, sorry, half tattoo, half retail, can't have dogs in here. And they're like, oh, sorry. And they just left. Like, they weren't,
Oh.
they weren't mean or anything.
Oh
We were
good.
prepared for that, but they
Mhm.
weren't, So it's like, big no, dude. Like, as the manager, you would think that they would have their employees' backs. They would have their how long they've
Mhm.
been working in mind. It's so quick to tell that customer, like, hey, sorry, we're closed.
Yeah.
You know?
So many managers are not like that.
I know.
But honestly, I'm glad that the dog person was cool because there would be so many people that would be in an uproar about it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a stroller, so they could have put him in the stroller, but I didn't want to get into logistics. They weren't going to buy anything anyway. When you can just clock browsers,
Mhm.
and they were just browsers, man. So it's like, hey, dude, you can't have your dog in here. Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Was there a child in the stroller or was there just a stroller for the dogs?
It was
That's what
for
I
the
want.
2 Yorkie dogs. It was a Yorkie stroller for the Yorkies, yeah. Yeah.
Man, what a
Yeah.
life.
What a life. What a
Oh my
life.
god.
Do you have another short one to send us off?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Today I fricked up by picking up what I thought was going to be a lucky penny. So this literally just happened. Forget using a throwaway as we're all probably human and this kind of stuff happens. I'm driving across the country for work and I'm currently in Utah. I decided to pull over at a gas station as I was nodding off at the wheel and I'm not one to drive fatigued, so to get a nap, I go. I pull in and park. I figure before I go to sleep, I'll go inside and use the restroom. Now, mind you, when I parked, I didn't feel like I needed to use the restroom any more than casually. No dancing, no gangway mentality, nothing more than I can probably go. As I'm walking through the lot to the building, I see a bright, shiny penny reflecting the sunlight back up at me. I bend down and it is face up. Awesome, a lucky penny. Now, I don't actively believe in superstitions like this, but I usually grab the abandoned pennies I find regardless. I continue walking when, after only a few steps, my bowels start to groan at me. I suddenly feel it coming. I need to immediately go and take care of business. I'm trying my best to hold it back. We've all had to do that awkward walk to try and hold the door from making you have a very awkward day. Well, today was my awkward day. I
No.
get to the sidewalk near the entrance. It's been about 45 seconds since I picked up the cursed penny and the dam breaks.
No.
I feel my pants begin to fill.
Stop.
I book it as fast as I can into the restroom, hoping things aren't too bad, but they are worse. I'm now sitting in the John cleaning up and trying to figure out how I'm going to escape.
Oh no. No. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh my god. The fucking penny. The penny. No. What would you do?
just if I was sitting in the stall.
No, if you shit your pants on a what would you do?
I mean, what could you do? Like, pitch the underwear, clean myself up,
Yeah.
wipe out
Yup.
my pants as much as possible.
Oh, I'm
And
washing them motherfuckers in the sink. I'm washing.
I wouldn't wash them in the sink because I wouldn't want to walk out with wet, poopy pants.
True.
So I'd throw the underwear away.
Oh, for sure. God.
And go back. This would be gross, but I would go back to the car and either go somewhere else or pull around the building and change my pants.
Yeah.
And put the poopy pants in a trash bag or something and just wash them when I could.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, what else could you do?
Yeah. I would probably do all the wrong things. I'd probably wash them, try to dry them with the air thing. If that didn't work, I'd just walk out with fucking wet pants. You know, as you said, I charge it to the game, the penny pickup game.
And I'd never pick up a penny again.
Yeah, I would never pick up a penny again. Yeah, but you guys can pick up a new favorite podcast by following us.
Got him. That shit was clean.
Transition. Oh my god, disgusting. Okay, as I say that, I'm like Hayley normally does outro. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Plus Size Section. On TikTok, we're the Plus Size Section. If you want to send us a story about you picking up a cursed penny or any other really fun Reddit stories that you want us to read, our email is theplussizesection@gmail.com. And leave us a good old 5-star review and share us with your friends that also enjoy poopy penny stories.
If you enjoy shitting your pants, this is the podcast for you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, y'all.